and definitely you can understand. So that means we can say that there would be some states which would be behaving as in-migrating states, some states would be out-migrating. Okay, so if we talk about major in-migrating states, these would be the green revolution areas. So you talk about Punjab, you talk about Haryana, you talk about Western UP. Then in South also there are some states, coastal Andhra Pradesh, then your coastal Tamil Nadu. These are areas where green revolution is very, very successful. So again, what is happening in all these areas, labor is required. Now this labor is supplied by number of states. These states definitely are underdeveloped states. Mainly these states include the states of UP, Bihar, Odisha. You talk about Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand. All these states are the major supply states. Okay? So here what has happened? This trend has become very, very dominant in the past 4 decades. Okay? So that is one kind of change which has taken place. Earlier this type of migration from these states to these states was not very, very significant. But since then what has happened? It has become very, very significant. Especially this rural migration with the advent of green revolution, it has become very significant. Okay? So that is one part of our internal migration or domestic migration. Then we can say rural to urban migration. Now in this rural to urban migration also, number of changes can be seen in general like other type of internal migration. First thing, it is also from less developed states to more developed states. Now, 2 types of modifications we find in this rural to urban migrations. One modification is, ideally in a country what should happen? There are number of hierarchy of cities. Okay. Ideally for better urbanization in a country, what should happen? This migration should be stepped migration. Okay. In general, before, if you talk about these 4 decades, this phenomena was there. But what has happened in the past 4 decades? There has been concentration of developmental activities in certain pockets or in certain cities. And because of that, what has happened? There is bypassing of this step migration, and most of the rural urban migration is taking place directly towards million plus cities. Okay? So that is one very, very important change that has taken place if we talk about rural to urban migration. Okay? So that should have been written. Then second important change is also there is change in character of the migrants if we are talking about rural urban migration. So what has happened? Earlier most of the rural urban migration, these were unskilled laborers. Today what has happened? Even the educated people from rural areas, they are migrating to urban areas. Particularly in the past 4 decades, this process has become very strengthened. Okay? So that is another change we find that has happened in the past 4 decades. Okay? So there is also a significant percentage of rural urban migrants is also educated people or the skilled laborers who are in search of employment. Okay? So that is another thing we should be writing. Then definitely you should also be talking about urban migration. Now what has happened in urban migration? Same thing has happened here also. Stepped migration has almost stopped, and what has happened? It is directly from all these class of cities, directly the migration is toward the million plus cities, because more employment opportunities they are concentrated in these million plus cities. So directly now what is happening? Most of the migration is taking place towards these million plus cities. Okay? So that is one very, very big change that has happened. Also what has happened? One change is with time the migrants, they have become more younger. They have become comparatively younger. Also the percentage of women migrants, labor migrants in this urban migration has increased, which was very less 4 decades before. Okay? So all these changes have occurred in the internal migration of India. Okay? So they should have been written.
So fourth is urban to rural also, like district.
Urban to rural you should not be focusing upon, because urban to rural is a type of migration which would be significant mostly in developed countries. Okay? India is a developing country. So here that type of migration is very insignificant. In this there was less space, so that insignificant thing we can skip.
Like people are not able to get assimilated in the development of the million plus cities, so they are going back to their native places.
are going back, as I'm saying, they are going back, but this process is very insignificant. Okay, and because of this being the percentage being very, very low, that is why we are not giving space in our answer. Okay, so that is about your internal migration. Now, if we talk about
regarding NREG scheme under desk employment, that is done to bring back those inhabitants back.
you write about that, we'll be using our conclusion space, okay, to write about that. Because conclusion is one thing where we can write many contemporary things. Here also you could have written, but ultimately you use the conclusion space. So you talk about what has happened in very recent time, because it is very, very recent. Okay, so in very recent times there seems to be a trend due to this Manrega and ultimately your NRL. Because of that, what it seems that the rural-urban migration has slowed down. So you use the conclusion to that. Okay. So if we talk about, this was our internal migrants, labor migrants. If we talk about the international migrants, labor migration, it has also undergone a shift. And if we talk about this shift which it has undergone, first very, very important thing we see in the last 4 decades is that the developed countries, particularly the West, has emerged as a very attractive destination for the educated youth of India, or very, very, very skilled professionals. For them, what has happened? It has emerged as very, very important destination. You all know that this has also been called as brain drain. Okay. So this again has happened in the past few decades, 4 decades we can say. So again, this is one very, very important thing that has taken place. In recent times also what has happened, other important destinations have emerged for this skilled professionals. And if we talk about 2 important destinations, other developed countries like Australia, for example, it has emerged as important destination. Then East Asia is also emerging as an important destination for the Indian professionals. Particularly your countries like Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, all these countries are emerging as important destination for the migrants. Okay? So that is one change that has taken place with regard to skilled migrants or still skilled job seekers. If you talk about unskilled job seekers, we find that change is limited. And here what we find, still the most important destination for them is West Asia. That is still the most important destination for the skilled and semi-skilled laborers. Okay? So that is the change that has, texture that has changed in this case. In case of your Southwest Asia or West Asia, one change you can say is here number of skilled professionals going into these areas has also increased. Okay? Particularly your engineers and doctors, etc. That has also registered a significant increase beside unskilled professionals. Okay? So this is the main content of your answer.
What about reverse brain drain in case of making?
Again, I would say that these, whatever you are saying is, they are very insignificant. Okay, so all these insignificant things, you use your conclusion as a space to talk about all these types of phenomena. You there in your main content you focus upon which is the most established fact. Okay, so here we are talking about the most established facts. Okay. So again, we could have written this in number of ways. Again, you can use here a type of paragraph, or you could have used about paragraph. Ideally, what I would have done, I would have written this answer in more point form with use of headings. Very clear headings I would have used, and I would have written this answer. Okay? So again, introduction we talked about. Introduction, best introduction would be with changing socio-economic conditions of India, the pattern of migration has also undergone a shift. Okay? It is visible in both domestic as well as international migration. Then you make a heading of domestic migration, and here you talk about 3 types. Here also you can use the headings rural, urban, and urban migration. Okay? You talk about that. Then you come to international migration. Again use the heading and talk about the international migration. Okay? Then in conclusion, you can write whatever you feel like, because as I told you, that is the space provided. where you can write कुछ भी लिख सकते हो depending upon your thoughts. So definitely there what I could have written, I must have written about the role of schemes like Manrega and ultimately your NRLM. Okay, so what has happened because of that, it definitely seems that if we talk about the internal migration, there is some slowing down of rural to urban migration. Definitely that is clear. Okay, and secondly what has happened, you should also be talking a little bit about international migration. What has happened with the changing status of India? Definitely the reverse migration has also started. You just write started. Okay, because the process has just started. It is not very well developed. Okay, so like this you write this question number 11. Any questions related with this? Okay. Now let us come to question number 14. Explain the factors responsible for the origin of ocean currents. How do they influence the regional climates, fishing and navigation? Now here most of you might have studied this, so writing this question should not be very difficult for you. Okay? Only thing would be writing all that is demanded in the permissible amount of words. That was the most difficult challenge in writing this question. Okay? So if we talk about, question is asking explain the factors responsible for origin of currents. That means 50% of my answer should be on this aspect. I should be talking about the factors which are responsible, while 50% on regional climates, fishing and navigation. Now one of the problems that I find in many of the answers I read is, you students what they do, they just start writing without any planning, which should not be done. If you are not planning your answer, ultimately what would happen, most probably the most significant thing that you will find is, in the first part only you will exceed 75% of the wording. So ultimately what would happen, to write the second part you will have just got 25% of the words. So ultimately what you will have to do, you will have to shorten that second part. But if you talk about mark division, it was 50-50%. Okay? So again you can understand how much marks you will be getting. Accordingly you will also be getting the marks. So keep this in mind while you are reading your question. First thing is you just plan your answer. So here ideally I can see that there is 50-50% weightage to each of these parts. It can be divided into two parts, and each of these are having 50% weightage. Okay? So that means about 100 words I will be writing on the factors responsible for origin of ocean currents, while the next 100 words I will be writing on influence on regional climates, fishing and navigation. Okay? Now if we just talk about this first part, factors responsible for the origin of ocean currents. Again you know that number of factors are responsible for this origin of ocean currents. So in fact when I am writing this, one introduction I could have used is, here see, introductions can be written in many sense. One type of introduction is you just summarize what you are going to say. A summary, you give a summary of what you are going to say. So you can give just the keywords which you are going to write, those factors, name of the factors in the introduction itself. So directly here you start your answer without writing anything else. So for example, if I am writing this, what I will say, ocean currents are functions of prevailing winds, temperature and salinity profile of the oceans or oceanic water, Coriolis force and ocean configuration. Full stop. These factors next I am going to describe or explain. Okay? So what I have done, I have given a very valid introduction of what I am going to write. So you can just summarize what you are going to write in your introduction. So this technique you can follow here. After that, now you have given an idea to the examiner what you are going to write. So you can just continue. There would be a flow in your answer. Okay? So if we talk about first factor, you know that prevailing winds. So just write one statement. Again, remember, do not tend to explain too many things. While you are writing, you consider your examiner to be more knowledgeable than you. Okay, and just write precisely. So just summarize what you have to write. For example, when I am talking about prevailing winds, what I will simply say, the frictional drag put by the prevailing winds leads to origin of surface current, surface oceanic current. You might be knowing that oceanic currents are of two types, one which are flowing on surface, other 90% of the water which are flowing into, that is deep ocean current. Okay, so two types of ocean currents are there. So first, these surface ocean current, definitely they are produced by these prevailing winds. One line I have written. Next point or next paragraph, temperature and salinity differences create density differences in the ocean water, or different density variabilities in the ocean water. So stop. These variabilities become the cause of deep ocean currents. Okay. Second statement. Ultimately move on to your next factor. So just do not try to explain the factors too much. Otherwise, what will happen? You would be exceeding the word limit. Also the time. Okay. So you talk about your next point, and definitely the next point is Coriolis force. So what is Coriolis force doing? Coriolis force leads to deflection, or you simply write, once the currents are originated, they are affected by Coriolis force. Full stop. This deflection causes upwelling and downwelling in the ocean currents, comma, as well as their circular movements in the oceans. Full stop. So again, what I have done, I have written what was required in fewest possible words. Then you come to your next point. Next point was configuration of the oceans. So if we are talking about configuration of the oceans, two types of configuration. One is related with